my friend Cristian Ruvalcaba wanted me to show the extract JSON function. There's going to be a separate video on the parse JSON one, but this is this specific function. Now, what we have is we are projecting just the time and the payload, and we go 15 minutes below and find anything that contains a curly brace, because that denotes the presence of JSON structure. But as we can see here, there can be other log sources that contain curly braces and they are not JSON. We're going to deal with that on the search, but this one definitely is a JSON structure. We can see that has that commented out and time and creation and some others, right? So now, how do we extract some components in there? Well, that's precisely what the extract JSON is gonna allows us to do. So notice the syntax. We're going to extend, we're going to create an artificial column in here, a group of columns, and we're going to say that F is going to be using the extract JSON operator function. We're going to go inside the payload and we're going to look for comment count entry. And then the G column is going to be the same, but we're going to look for ident, and H we're going to look for the timestamp, and inside the timestamp we're going to get the date. So if we were to run this, we find that we get these J and H entries extracted, right? Let's actually grab this payload again and go to that parse JSON visualizer. Let's actually paste it in here. And now we see that this one doesn't have the commented out, but has ident and timestamp.date. And that's what we are actually getting in here, right? The commented out, which is the F column, has nothing, but these two have. Now, that works well, and we can find other one in which they are commented out only. In fact, we can sort it by this. We should probably see it in here. And we see here that the commented out is the value is 0, and the ones that have the comment count rather have 0 and do not have these other ones, and vice versa, right? But we still remember that we saw some logs that didn't have any, and they also have curly braces. They're going to show in this particular search. How can we get rid of them? Well, we can simply use the is not empty operator F on J and in H, and if any one of those is not empty, then that's the list that we want, and go ahead and project those three fields and the payload at the end. So if we run it, we get only those logs that have on the payload those components. If we sort it in here as we did before, we can see the ones that have the commented out on 0, but they don't have ident nor the timestamp.date in it. In fact, if we copy that payload, this one that has comment count equals 0, we'll see that it doesn't have the ident and the timestamp. Let's go to the parser. It's actually a rather biggie. But notice that we have that structure and we don't have the others. So again, this is a simple way of extracting from JSON structures that are as part of the logs the pieces that you want.